Welcome to Hey Sister. This is episode 40, Hair Share. Hey sister.
Hey sister.
Join me, Courtney Lewis,
And me, Carley Ferguson,
in our conversational podcast about everyday situations.
You can count on us to tell it to you straight with our own sisterly spin.
Consider this a phone call with your own Southern sisters as we discuss with you personal accountability, healthy relationships, managing responsibilities, and contributing to society.
Each episode will consist of straight talk and a call to action.
Your sisters are calling.
Thanks for answering.
Welcome to another episode of Hey Sister. This is our Hot Topic series, and we are excited that y'all are joining Carley and I for our conversations about topics that we are passionate about. Today, we're going to have a conversation that might feel a little awkward at first, but power through with us because we think that we'll have some good information for you, or at least you will feel seen and understood because this is a conversation that comes up often among women. We're going to be talking about hair from our head to our toes. So there might be a few places we skip, but we're going to just go for it.
Let's start with our head, and I'll take it from there because we said in last week's episode that I had gotten my hair cut and I had tried long hair for several years, about 4 years, the age of my oldest. So when I got my hair cut, it felt like I was just myself again. It was wonderful. But the process of getting my hair cut in order to donate, we thought we'd go ahead and share, and that's part of the hair share, is because it wasn't working for me, but there are so many who struggle with either there's children with hair loss. That's the foundation that I donated to. And so that's for children who don't have hair because of cancers or alopecia or other diseases that affect their hair growth. Even though I wouldn't say my hair is like amazing, there are some people with great hair. So if you're one of them, you could consider, if your hair is not working out for you, then it would be great to share it with someone else. And so again, I used children with hair loss as the foundation to donate to. I researched by watching some YouTube videos and just looking at their website for the good things about them. They only use the donated hair that they've been given to make the wigs. They don't sell the hair that's donated. There are some foundations that do. And so I appreciated that. And they also accepted hair that had been treated, either lightened, bleached, or colored. And they take a minimum of 8 inches, which is great because sometimes we don't have a lot of hair, but they take 8 inches and up. They recommend, I think, at least 10 or 11 inches. I was able to have 15 inches of hair.
What?
Yeah.
It was that long?
Yeah, it was that long. And gladly, I will have that off of my head so that somebody else can have a lot of the confidence that can come with hair. Don't get me wrong. I love short hair on people who have chosen to shave their head. That's just beautiful as well. But for children who are used to having hair, that's a really hard thing for them to experience. And so the more we can support these foundations and this cause of letting those children have that confidence back with wigs and hair pieces, that'd be great. I was able to send it in. You cut the hair yourself and you bag it up in a Ziploc bag, and then you put that bag in a padded envelope with the printed information that's on their website. And you can also opt to donate money towards the making of the wig, which is about $1,000, or getting t-shirts, or some different options in a range of prices. And you can also donate online too. So those are some things that were cool for me to learn about and to do. And I would support anyone who chose to do that. I went into the salon and asked ahead of time, will you just cut my hair and then I'll donate it? So they did the little rubber bands in 2 ponytails and then cut above that. It was just simple as that. You don't have to braid them. You can just keep them in the bundles. Just make sure you've washed your hair and that there's not a lot of product in it, and make sure that it's like completely dry too when you put it into the Ziploc bag. Those were just some of the things that I learned in going through the process.
Thank you for sharing that. I just learned a ton, and sisters will be sure to include the links to that organization that Carley just shared about in our show notes, along with the minute marker timeline as always. That way you can reach out to that organization if you want to donate your hair, or if you know somebody who wants to donate their hair, you can share this episode with them or that information. Now, I feel a little almost sacrilegious transitioning from this awesome organization you're talking about that donates wigs for children in need to talking about my intense pulse light leg hair remover. But it's time now to move on from the hair of our head to underarms and downward.
Well, I think to that, we're talking about the confidence that comes from our hair on our head. You can fix it, curl it, make it feel like it's part of you and an expression of you. And then there's this other hair that is not pleasant and hurts your confidence, really. So it's important to talk about too.
Yeah. So here's what I'll say about body hair. I know that hair must serve a purpose. God created our bodies in his image. We believe that. Like, I do believe that my body is wonderful and made exactly how it's supposed to be. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm satisfied with the fact that I have brown hair that grows on my legs or my underarms, or that when I wear a swimsuit, I have to be conscientious about what I look like in the swimsuit, not just my physical body and what I look like body shape wise, but about where my hair grows. And that is sometimes unfair. And I feel like I've gone through the whole spectrum of it's not fair that swimsuits are even designed so that women have to shave. I feel like I've been on that end of things before where I'm like, this is just not fair. But then at the same time, I'm going through this experience where my youngest baby is 2 years old. I'm ready to start wearing feminine swimsuits again. I don't want to have to wear a pair of workout shorts with a tank top that I can easily pull up so that I can breastfeed my baby if I need to by the pool. I'm at the point where I can actually wear a swimsuit that's fitted and that has a normal shape of a bikini cut. Not anything crazy. I'm just saying on the bottom, like that's the other thing too. Swimsuits right now are designed to cut your butt cheeks in half. And there are very few people who can pull that off well. And kudos to you if you can, but that also means then you're in charge of shaving everything. And I don't necessarily want that responsibility. So to keep my hair in check, I bought myself a little handheld machine. It's called an IPL, which stands for Intense Pulse Light. And I won't speak to the technicality of it, but I'll explain how it works. It's basically a really bright flash that comes out of this tiny machine. Picture the size of your phone in width. So it fits inside of
like a mouse pad size.
Yeah, like a little mouse. So it fits inside your palm of your hand if you're gripping it. And you just hold it to your skin and you look away because the light shines really bright. Imagine having a camera flash right in your eyes. It's about that bright. So you're not supposed to look at it. And you're supposed to let that light flash on every part of your body where you want to get rid of hair. So people have used it on like their nape hair on the back of their neck. If you ever have that hair that comes in commonly after you've had babies, like I know I have a ton of nape hair, but I haven't tried to take care of that hair yet. However, this IPL, it's used on different parts of your body and it's safe as long as it's not in direct contact or near your eyes. So using it on your face is something that I understand is not recommended. I've used it on my armpits, on my legs, and on my bikini area. And I will say I'm on week 11 out of the recommended 12 weeks. And I am not entirely thrilled, if I'm being quite honest. And here's what I want to share about this. Maybe this is God's sign that he gave us hair and it's not meant to be an easily taken away thing. I don't know. I also know a lot of women who wax or have permanent hair removal. Great. I just don't have the time or the interest in that right now at this point of my life. This was just an experiment. But over the last couple of weeks, I studied the story of Naaman and Elisha in the Bible, and I'll sum this up quickly because there is a tie in here.
I just love this. Yeah. Okay, go on. This is really funny.
It's getting there. So Naaman was a man in the Bible who was struggling with a skin disease, and he went to the prophet Elisha. And Elisha sent his servant out to talk to Naaman. And the servant told Naaman, go wash in the river Jordan 7 times. And Naaman was really upset about this because the river Jordan was known as a disgusting river. Well, Naaman's servant ends up talking to him and saying, if the prophet had asked you to do some great big thing, you would have done it. Go do this small and simple thing and see if it works. That's kind of how I felt about my IPL, right? Like, just see if it works. It's a simple thing. It's only like $120 as opposed to laser hair removal, which is much more expensive. And you have to leave your home and all these other things. Well, Naaman went and he bathed in the river 7 times. And sure enough, he was cured of leprosy. Well, I'm on week 11 of 12. So I don't know if this next week is going to be the equivalent of my 7 times in the River Jordan, and then all the hair will suddenly be gone. I'm hoping that's the case, but my gut tells me it's just going to have stunted my hair growth. And that's even been okay because I've gone from needing to shave every day. Not that that's how often I shaved. I didn't shave every day, but I could have shaved easily every day because my hair grows that fast and it was worthy of it. But now I shave once or twice a week and it seems to come back very slowly, and I'm fine with that. So I've only been doing the IPL up to my knees. I don't even try and do my thighs, but that's the area I'm concerned with, is up to my knees and then armpits in the bikini area. But it's been at least an experiment to try, and I think it has helped reduce the need for me to shave as much. And anything that can reduce my time is great, but a treatment of IPL takes about 7 minutes total. And maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe I should be spending longer because I'm speed doing it. And you're allowed to do 2 treatments at any given time, but it has to be a week apart. So I try to do it on the weekend. Every weekend, I try and have either Saturday or Sunday. So I can do it on one Sunday and then I'll do it the following Saturday. So it's 6 days apart. Maybe that's also ruined it. I don't know. But whatever time my husband is home and he can keep the kids out of the bathroom, because I have had the kids walk in one point of the bathroom and I was like, get out. I'm doing something. And they're like, what's happening in there?
Yeah.
Get out. I just need 5 minutes of privacy to try and get rid of my body hair. Okay. Like, leave me alone. So I've tried it. Hasn't been totally successful, but I'm interested in learning what other people do. It's fun to talk to other people and also have them be like, oh, I don't care. I haven't shaved in years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's like part of the sister conversations that we have. And that's where this was spurred on from, is us talking about, isn't this annoying? Why do we have to deal with this? I would rather not have to worry about my arm hair. But I also went a time while I was serving a church mission that I just never shaved like the entire time.
You were in the Czech Republic.
My mom was appalled by that. I'm like, you know what? In Europe, they don't shave, okay? As much. Or I don't know if I can make that broad of a statement, but it's not seen maybe as being this level of beauty that we attribute no hair to be in America. And it's funny, I saw it someplace, I can't remember where, probably in my scrolling, a picture of some magazine covers with women with their hands up, and they have blurred out armpits. Like, armpits all together are just not a vogue thing. Okay, now you'll like never unsee it, that women on the cover of magazines don't have armpits. It's like Barbie, the proportions. I feel like now we're like, armpits, what are those? And it's normal to have armpits, and it's okay to have stubble on your underarms. But I go to a workout class and I'm like, oh shoot, I have to raise my arms. Like, that's the whole idea, right, of this class. There's no getting around it, and nobody really cares there. It's just a bunch of women anywho. But I
actually love when I see a woman who hasn't shaved her armpits, because I'm like, thank you for giving me.
Don't comment to somebody.
I would never tell
if
them.
Somebody came up to me and was like, I loved seeing your armpit stubble today, I would probably take that in a strange way.
I'm sorry. Inside my own mind, I think, thank you for being normal. I've never actually said it to this one particular friend who I've noticed doesn't shave her underarms, but I'm very grateful that she doesn't, because I'm like, I just feel like you're normal. And she is so awesome in every single way of her life. And it doesn't bother me one bit that when she wears a tank top to work out, I can see her armpit hair. That doesn't bother me at all. Yeah. And if anything, it's between herself and her view of herself, or if her husband had a preference, or in my case, my kid had a preference on what I looked like in a swimsuit at one point. And I was like, thanks, kid.
Yeah.
And kids are very observant. So it's just funny because I'm like, well, guess I got to take care of this. But I'm glad that she owns herself and that she doesn't care. And then it gives me more permission to not be as concerned with what the world thinks I should look like. And have you even heard manscaping is apparently a thing, that men trim themselves? That's what I'm saying. Our world is getting so hairless.
It's weird. It's also in order to make money. It's all marketing, and they can sell an image.
Conspiracy. Listen to you.
Well, you know me, but it's true. You find a niche and you can expose it and be like, okay, if women care about this, then men will too, and on and on. But another aspect of this, I have a unibrow, and Courtney loves it.
I love it.
We didn't even think we were going to go down this road, but it's a good one, because we said head to toe, and I guess face is included in that. I have been embarrassed about my eyebrows my whole life, and then I have dark hair that'll grow up on my face too. And Courtney loves it because she's like one of those that likes pimple popping. I know some of you listening probably fall into this category too, where you're like, ooh, like that's fun.
Okay, can I stop you? I actually don't like pimple popping. I love splinters and I love eyebrows.
Okay, thank you.
I'm really not a pimple popper on myself. If I see one, I will try and get rid of it, but I'm not like ever wanting to touch somebody else's pimples.
Okay, that's valid. But growing up, Courtney would pin me down to pluck my eyebrows, I would say, because it was unruly. And then, thankfully, Cara Delevingne really brought eyebrows back. If not, it was Frida Kahlo, but it helped me out because I have really thick eyebrows. And I tried doing some laser hair removal on them too, and that helped stunt some of the growth and everything. But we all have something, and I always felt like growing up that it kept me humble because I wouldn't want to be too close to people. It was actually, I wouldn't say just humble, it was something that kind of hurt my self-esteem in a way because I didn't want to be close to people and I thought that they were going to like say something. But you know who said it the most? My brother.
Oh.
If you're listening to this, Dallas, it would be a Sunday and be like, what's on your face? Siblings are there for you. Like no one else would tell you.
And now kids.
Yeah, exactly. My point is other people probably really didn't notice it at all. And it was just something that I was so concerned about. And it's how it goes, I think, in life. And now as we're moving on in our lives and have so many other fish to fry, thank you for trying something out and letting us know that that wasn't the way to fry it.
No,
I don't know.
Maybe it would be. If you've had success with it, we would love to hear it. In fact, I would say that should be our call to action is please share what works for you with us.
And if you want to send a private message, you don't feel comfortable posting it, I totally get that. And we will share the successes and let you know what some ideas are, because I feel like this is just something that people don't talk about because it's awkward. This whole time I've been cringing. It's hard to talk about.
Can I share something to lighten the mood?
Oh, yeah.
I just went to find this quote. Speaking of Carley's eyebrow, I want to share a quote that's from one of my favorite movies as a child, which is Princess Diaries with Anne Hathaway. And she's getting her eyebrow plucked, if you recall, in the movie because they're trying to turn her into the princess. And Paolo, he says to Anne Hathaway, who is Mia Thermopolis, and she's becoming the princess. And he says, I love your eyebrows. We'll call them Frida and Kahlo. If Brooke Shields married Groucho Marx, their child would have your eyebrows.
I do love that.
And
what is that the one where was like the moose make all the other mooses go rawr?
Yes.
I think that should also be part of the call to action is watching some Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
It's nostalgic.
Because she has hair and they have to tame her hair. They're like brushing her hair and it breaks in her hair. You remember that scene?
Yeah, the classic makeover scene. And yes, now I think all of those are being overly criticized, all these makeover scenes. And it's true. You can be beautiful and have big hair, and it's about the confidence that comes with it. So I love the makeover scenes because of the confidence at the end. So rock whatever you feel, but let that inspire you to try something new or get yourself to where you're like, hey, this doesn't bother me or affect me. It's the confidence that comes from within and nobody's really caring too much.
I love it. So embrace confidence, whatever that looks like for you. And our call to action is to share with us via comment or direct message us with what works for you for hair removal, because we would love to share it with our community and we will share it anonymously. And also go watch Princess Diaries because it's a fun movie.
Also, I'm going to add something in because I'm going to share the Amazon swimsuit that I got. That is a bottom of a swimsuit and it's high-waisted skirt that goes down. So it's kind of a dupe of the Albion skirts that they have now, but for a lot less. I can share that link, but it's been nice for me because it's not the shorts that we typically think of, but it's this nice high waist. So it's a on trend shape and it still covers my bikini area well, but in a very trendy kind of way. So cool. I can share that too for anyone who has not been feeling confident and
doesn't want to shave.
Yeah, exactly.
And so when you're bathing in the River Jordan 7 times,
gosh,
you can have your clean.
Well, you said it wasn't a religious thing, and
I'm just making it funny because it's a dirty river. You know what happens when you're in a dirty river? The hair shows up easily on your legs. That's all I'm saying.
It's true. No, it's true. That's true.
Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Great episode today. Hopefully you smiled a little bit and felt a little awkward with us. I can only guarantee you that Carley and I felt more awkward talking about this with y'all, but we felt like it was a conversation. It is a hot topic. It comes up often in our conversations as we gripe to each other or try and share success stories with each other. So thank you for joining us as always. We look forward to talking to y'all again next week. So come back for our final installment in our hot topic series, Group Chat, Embarrassing School Stories. We're going to be joined by our sister Cassidy and also our sister-in-law Taylor. Y'all have not met her yet. We're going to be getting y'all ready for our back to school series. So be sure to come back and join us. You're definitely going to get a few laughs as you prepare to go back to school or have your kids going back to school or seeing friends going back to school. Whatever the occasion, you're going to want to hear some of these stories and it'll bring you back to the good old school days. So join us next week and have a wonderful week this week, sisters. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I think that was fun.
Great. That was fun. It's live.
I don't think I'm going to edit a lot. I'll probably keep it pretty authentic to how it was.
I share a lot. Like, I've got a unibrow. I've got keen. It is like awkward. This is not my jam. Who's going to be hearing this? Oh my gosh. I'm like already cringing. I don't know how this is going to go. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm going to listen to it.